if I were to imagine putting on the hat of someone who is coming in through the door, of your practice, and I wasn't sure whether or not I wanted coaching or counseling or what the heck I needed, how would you help me figure that out?
Well, I would first probably ask what you're wanting out of a practitioner, what kind of space what idea of a space you had in mind. But then I would try and explain just in a very general sense. Obviously, everyone is individual and can benefit from both in different ways. But I would say off the bat, if you know that you deal with clinical mental illness struggles, if you're dealing with diagnosed depression or anxiety or you know any mood disorders, personality disorders, etc., that a counselor is best trained to support you through those particular struggles, and helping you find appropriate strategies or giving you insight into that in particular, as well as dealing with past trauma, dealing with emotional pain and distress, helping you kind of unpack how circumstances in your life in the past may have shaped how and informed your behavior now, and helping you to gain some more awareness into how your brain works, how your life has kind of informed how you behave now, and helping you kind of cope with those circumstances. um, a coach is going to be a lot less focused on past experience, past trauma, and helping you heal that. Um, Past experience can be useful for informing context as to where you are right now and why. But instead of focusing on dealing with those past experiences or traumas and helping you heal from them, it's a lot more focused on where are you now and where do you want to be, and helping you thrive into your future. And again, is not as focused on clinical mental illness struggles, just because of training differences. So if someone were to come to me dealing with something significant in terms of mental illness, I would immediately refer, um, and maybe say in the future when you have kind of a better understanding of how this situation impacts your life and have gained some coping strategies to deal with them, have more awareness of how your past trauma might have impacted how your brain is now functioning. We might have a great coaching relationship if you have those tools. And then, so the same can be, it can be then said that if you're not dealing with significant mental illness, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're not struggling and that you don't want some clarity about how to move forward, or you're not feeling a lot of stress or unhappiness or whatever. And then coaching can be really effective for helping you develop strategies to move forward, to determine some effective goals, to combat some of those challenges you're facing, or get you to that better place that you're wanting to go, or help you determine where it is you even want to go. So yeah, that's kind of overall what I would say to a person. But then we're also trained along the way to know where, if we've reached a point that I can I've already given you everything that I have to offer or am trained to give. So I will always refer not just to counselors, but have an awareness of various resources that might help support a person, in different areas, to really understand where my support can end and someone else's might begin, or how they can work together. So yeah, being able to refer people is definitely an important element.
Cool. If I were to ask, where do you see coaching to be, societally speaking? Let's say 5 to 10 years from now, what might you say?
Well, I really hope that it's kind of appreciated on the level that counseling is. I think there's been so much amazing work done to raise awareness for the value of counseling. And now we are kind of entering a place where that's pretty ubiquitous, that people completely appreciate the value in a counselor. Many people are open about seeing counselors. It's a lot more just commonplace. I would love to see that with coaching. Because again, I think it's really nice to have a space where you don't necessarily have to be in crisis. You don't necessarily have to have significant mental illness to need support or to want guidance or clarity, or, kind of unpack some of that noise going on in your life. Um, it would be amazing if that could be reflected in institution like insurance. It would be fantastic if that, people were getting support on that end, so that it wasn't a financial burden, because coaching definitely is something appreciated in the business world. It's something appreciated in more affluent circles, who have disposable income to spend on a lot of health and wellness. Um, but I would love to see it be more accessible to people of all ages and socioeconomic status. So yeah.